Hi parents. Today's video is about the Totteridge Academy. They call themselves TTA, which I haven't quite got my head around yet. This school has turned many heads this year. There are a lot of Year 6 families who are looking at it with big eyes, and it's a real consideration for them. It's been around a little while, but it was a school that needed improvement a couple of years ago, and it is now rated good by Ofsted, which is a huge accomplishment for the head. I think he's done really, really well. He's done a great job on the school. It did also used to have a very low retention of staff, so a lot of staff left. And that was the last time I really researched the school until recently. And it has made such a comeback, which is proof that schools really can change in a very short space of time. The last time I researched the school also, there was a very, very poor attendance on students' part. And again, that has just been turned around massively. So well done to the head. You came across great on the virtual tour. I've had a lot of comments about you in particular, addressing the head, Mr. Fairburn. So yeah, really, really great tour. Okay, so there were over 100 attendees on this tour, which is quite good numbers. Last year, the head said that there were 800 people that attended his tour, in person that is, and 200 families came on tours around the school. Now that is a lot, which shows that it is gaining in popularity. Okay, so there was a little video about the school talking about how they have high expectations of their students and that they believe that all students want to learn, essentially, which is quite a nice kind of thing to say about them. They have all different abilities and they cater to everybody. They have a culture of children make mistakes. They all do, so do we as adults. It's part of being human. But the skill is to learn from them, almost to have a growth mindset about things. If you don't achieve it first time, pick yourself up and try again. He talked about the COVID measures that are in place, which a lot of schools have addressed, and it's all quite similar things that they're doing. Class sizes are in bubbles. There are zones that bubble are able to go to. The teachers generally, is what I see, is that they are the ones that are doing the movement around the classes to restrict corridor congestion and things like that. The students are sitting in rows, terribly old school. I really hope it doesn't last too much longer. They have cleaners on site. Everyone has to bring in their own equipment. And the clubs have obviously had to be scaled back. Now, the head talked about his target from 2016. He set himself a vision, a target. He said that TTA, the Totteridge Academy, will be the most improved school in London. And I think he has achieved that, which shows how far it fell and how far he's pulled it up. Ofsted did rate it outstanding for behaviour and leadership, and it's overall good. And he is very confident that by the time they have another Ofsted inspection, it will be an outstanding school. They're in the top 8% for progress in the country. And the year 11, I found this beautiful. The year 11 have created their own Totteridge Academy chant before they sit exams. So it's like the haka in rugby where they try to terrorize their opponent. It's similar to that, where I think they were like raising their hands and standing up on the playground, all a meter apart just for space reasons, and just buzzing off each other and really raising that vibration and that energy. And that's all student led, which I thought was amazing for kind of team building and just, pumping everybody up before an exam. I thought it was great. This was a lovely point as well. When the children sit their exams, they get to choose their style of cushion that they sit on and the colour. You can easily recognise where your chair is among a sea of chairs. I remember that feeling. And you get to choose a bit of comfort for yourself when you have to sit there for like 2.5 hours or whichever exam you're taking. I thought that was a really lovely touch. Very thoughtful, very considerate. And maybe somebody feels particularly lucky. Maybe I feel lucky in green today. I'm wearing a lot of green. But I thought that was a really nice thing. they have received a national award. They've been awarded the National Maths Team of the Year 2019. So if you're good at maths and you live near the Totteridge Academy and you like the sound of things, it's probably a school that you might want to consider. Now, this was amazing. They have 27 acres of land. The school was built in 1955. They have a lot of things in progress. They're not a state-of-the-art school yet. They are starting an AstroTurf in October, so now, I guess. And they're going to be rebuilding sections of the school over the next 2 years. Now, when the head did part of this video, he actually walked us parents, around the school, and some parts of it, there were builders in. So he had his hard hat, helmet, and high-vis gear. And there was something quite raw and something really genuine about that. It gave you a really nice feel about him as a person and a head, and how he cares about the school and the vast amount of improvements that are ongoing. They have an on-site farm, which links beautifully into a program that they're doing called Grow, which I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end. So they have 6 acres of farmland in which they do grow their own vegetables, and they harvest things, and the kids get in and get dirty themselves. They're reaping and sowing and doing all the things they need to do. So this is a strategy that is used to control anger. So you are outdoors, you're in nature, you're getting fresh air, you're not kind of cooped up in a classroom. So it's a form of anger release, almost like therapy. And they practice mindfulness. So you're forced to be mindful, aren't you, about what you're doing physically, and you're going to be reaping the rewards of what you're doing, because they eat the vegetables. They're going to be back in the canteen. So the students, I thought this was a lovely aspect of the school as well. Bearing in mind, it is constantly developing, and I mean physically here. They are constantly doing things to the school to improve it. The students designed their own area of the quad. They wanted, I quote, a chill out zone. Very cool. So they designed it themselves, and it's now been built. They've also got a beautiful wall of murals of the children that I think were the brains behind the idea to regenerate the quad and create this chill zone. Now, what that adds to the students is a sense of pride. If you see your face painted on a wall, some might cringe, but some might think, wow, I made a lasting impact on that school. You know, my footprint is there, my face is on that wall. And it really does give them that sense of pride. And then later students who come through the school think, right, well, if that person did it, I can do something like that, and I can really make a difference here. Now that teaches them a lot about themselves. It gives them aspirations, and I just thought it was a really nice touch that they included that on the video and that they do it. They have a lot of influential guest speakers coming. Jamie Redknapp was one of those. They come in and talk to the students, inspire them, motivate them. They do a lot of community work where they're helping others. And they have Pride Week at the Totteridge Academy, again, feeding into this element, this idea, this concept that the students make a real difference at that school. Now, I don't think there are many schools that actually do that. Perhaps they're already state of the art and there's nothing more to improve, they feel, but there's always something that can be done. They like to broaden horizons. They do residential trips. They've been skiing. They've been to the US. And then it went into the Q&A, which I'm not going to go massively into. One thing that I think will be really relevant is oversubscription. So they are very oversubscribed this year, which shows again that it's getting really, really sought after. His advice was to put the Totteridge Academy as your first choice. And he said that the catchment area was about 1.5 to 2.5 miles. So if you do live within 1.5 to 2.5 miles of the school and you're interested in it, have a look at the website, go and see if the videos are still online, and consider it. Talk to your child. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Grow thing that they're doing at their school, the Grow program, let's call it. So this is, I'm going to read this to you. This is straight off their website. Grow works in schools and communities to promote mental well-being, physical health, and a more hands-on relationship with the natural world. I think this is going to be massive, this GROW programme, and they are launching a second site next year in 2021, which is aiming to bring 360-degree learning to every school, every secondary school by 2030. Now that's quite ambitious, and I think that they would probably need some farm land or something where they can grow things for it to be a viable option. If you are a secondary school and you are a head or a deputy or somebody with influence and you are interested, I do suggest contacting them, and you can be next in on the line for them being setting up the GROW programme. They do things like stretching, boxing, so balancing, so physical things, deep breathing, which I've done a video on deep breathing for the children over lockdown. It really does help to calm anxiety. They have a beehive. They do meditation, and they do farming themselves. So the kids get in there and they're planting and they get dirty. They showed us their hands. So yeah, a really good school. Still very much up and coming. So if you want the latest facilities for everything and your child is really sporty and wants that and wants a swimming pool and things like that, maybe a school that is a lower consideration on your list. Remember, you get 6 schools to choose from. Have a look. I was impressed, but I think it's still got a way to go to be an outstanding school. But yeah, thumbs up, Totteridge Academy. You do really, really well.